Hi Stampers. Happy Friday. Time for another Friday fun day. Hope everybody's hanging in there. Just giving it a minute here to let everybody realize that it is 2 o'clock and time to be here. So I took my sister shopping today. She likes to go to Walmart. I dropped her off at the door and I waited in the car. And that was entertaining to watch all the coming and going there. And I have to say most people had masks on and gloves, or at least just masks. Most of the people did. And then I took her home and went to Safeway and did my shopping there, and both places were busy, and it's just entertaining. That's all I can say. Today was the first time out shopping since I got my mask, and so I wore it, and I wore my mask. Hi Donna. And I wore gloves, and okay, it was claustrophobic to me. I put the mask on, and my mask is so cute. My sister made it, and it's made with crow fabric. And so I'm looking in the mirror after I got my mask on. I thought, oh yeah, the mask is cute. And so I get in there and I thought, oh, okay, I can't do this. It was just like, I can't breathe. Oh my gosh. And so I would like kind of push it out with my chin so that it would pop it up here a little bit to let some air in. And I just had to talk myself through the store. I'm not kidding, because I kept thinking, you can breathe. You're breathing fine. Don't touch the mask. That was the biggest thing, is that I just didn't want to touch it. I mean, that's the point of having it on your face. And so I made it through without having to take it off or anything. But yeah, but anyway, this lady that was standing in front of me at the checkouts, I'm looking at her, and she's this very petite little older lady. Well, older, I say older, she's probably my age, who knows. But she was just very well put together. She did not have a mask or gloves or anything else on. Her hair was all done. She had on her little leather short jacket. She had on, I don't know what her pants were, but anyway, she had on spiked heel boots with little gold chain on it. And I just thought, wow, okay. She looked very cute, but for this period in time, I just thought, really? All the rest of us are out here looking like something from another planet, and here she is looking all cute. But anyway, okay, let's get started. I have this really fun card to make for you. So I'll go ahead and get the phone put up in the mount here so we can get going. Let me bring it up on my iPad so I can make sure that what I'm doing, that I keep it in your view here. There we go. And so this is the stamps that I'm going to use. And if you see anything you like that I'm using here today and would like to get it for yourself, you can find it at my shopping channel here. And I'm also going to be using the Layering Circles dies, but for this particular card you could use a circle punch. And let me just bring in what we're going to make. Usually I wait and I don't show you the card in the beginning, but I want to show you how this works. How cute is that? Isn't that adorable? I love it. Okay, now I don't have any idea what this is called, this card. If any of you have seen it before, let me know. I haven't. It is a card that we made years ago at one of the Stamp Club meetings that I attended, and I still have that card. It's right here, and I think this was actually a Stampin' Up set from long ago. And this was that basil paper. I don't know if they even still sell it, but our subtle embossing folder does the same thing as far as texturing your paper with that texture there. And then we use some die cut flowers and things here to decorate. And then when you open it up, there's that cute little bunny there. And then this must have been a flower die. But the way this card is made is quite different, and I just have not seen anybody else show a card that's particularly like this. But if you have, please mention it and let me know. So I didn't know what to call it, so I just called it a surprise slider card, I guess. Or peekaboo, that was it. Surprise peekaboo slider. Okay. So here are my, if you can read my handwriting, I'm going to set this here for a second in case you want to screenshot it. And I'm going to put my card back up here, and I'm going to ask you to bear with me today because this card is, for me, it was a little bit nerve-wracking. I think if you had a hole punch the right size, that it might be easier than having to keep lining up a circle die. I'm using 2 dies from the layering circle set. I'm using this measures about 1 3/8 inch, just the regular circle cut like that. And then I'm using the scallop circle, which creates this little ring right here outside of the flower. Now on the original card that we made back when, as you can see, there's a flower around that, and that's super cute, but I didn't have any flower like that to be able to die cut a frame, so we just went without. I could have put something like this around it, but I just think that little bunny's cute peeking out the way it is there. Okay. So those are the 2 dies, and this scallop one measures 1 3/4 inches, if you were wondering the sizes on that. So to make the base card, you're going to need 1 piece of cardstock that is 11 inches by 5.5, and you're going to score that one at 3.5 and at 7. And then you're going to need a second piece the same color, 5.5 by 6 inches, and you're going to score that one at 1 3/4. And then the Whisper White is for layering. Now on the original card, you can kind of see in there, we just did a little circle, and I decided I didn't want to do that because it makes it extra hard. It's one more thing you have to line up. So I just did a whole layer of white and then lined my stamp up there. I thought that was easier. So that's what one of these Whisper White pieces are for, and the other one is for the inside. And as you can see, the inside of this one did not have any white layer in it. But I like to have that white layer so you can put your message on the inside there as well. So we've got one at 3 1/4 by 5 1/4 and one at 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. And then your patterned paper is the piece for the front. So that's 4 by 5 1/4. And then those were the circle die sizes. Okay, so like I said, bear with me It took me quite some time yesterday to figure this all out and make this card, so I'm feeling ever so slightly nervous. Oh, this isn't what I meant to use, but that's okay. I've got it here now. Actually, no, I want to use my paper trimmer because I just think it scores a little more, the measure's a little more accurate on it. Okay, so here is the 11 by 5.5 inch piece. And we're going to score it at 3.5. And then we are going to score it at 7. Okay, and then this is the 5.5 by 6. Let me see what we've got here. Make sure I've got it at the 6-inch side, and I do. And so this one is going to be scored at 1 3/4. So there we go. Okie dokie. Okay, I'm trying to get that hung back up where it goes. And I'm not hitting the mark for some reason. Oh, come on. Seriously? All right, forget that. Okay, the patterned paper that I am using is from the Brights Designer Series papers. And so you get some of each of the colors in that collection there. And I went with the gingham because it's just so cute. And this is the Bermuda Bay. Okay, so let me just bring in a bone folder here, and we will crease these scores. Okay, so now here's the tricky part about this card. The wider piece here is actually going to go to the back. So we're going to flip that around there. And I know what you're saying, but now it sticks out too far over here on the left. But that's because this piece here, let me give this score a crease there. This piece is going to glue. You're going to line it up here and glue it. What have I got wrong here? I probably did something wrong. Obviously I did. Oh, I see. I cut this piece at 5 1/4 instead of 5 1/2. So let me just cut another piece real fast. So 5 1/2 by 6. And then score it at 1 3/4. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's bring this back in. Now it should look right. Okay, so we're this part will glue to that part right there. And then this is actually going to be the mechanism that moves that little bunny back and forth. Hi, Jane. Okay, so now to make this so I don't have to run it through the die cut quite as many times, I think that I can go ahead. We'll just have to see. What I'm going to do is go ahead and glue this together. And I'm going to use this wet glue just because I think you've got a little bit of wiggle room to make sure that you have those pieces nice and even. Not a lot of wiggle room, but a little bit. And I know I'll stick my finger in it. Okay, it's not even. This glue dries so fast, which is nice. But in this case, had I put my other adhesive on there, that I wouldn't have been able to get that back apart. Okay, let's try this again. Maybe if it's just hard because my phone mount is like right in the way, so. This is one of the hardest parts, I think, is matching that up. Okay, I think we are somewhat good here. Okay. So there you can see now, and you can see how that's going to move back and forth in there. Okay, let me just wipe my sticky fingers off here. Because I can't stand that. Hi, Maria. Hi, Seal. Thanks for joining me, y'all. Okay. So now I've got two pieces there that I'm going to need to make my die cut through. But I think I'm going to go ahead and attach this. And then that's one less matching up and having to run through the die. Okay. And this is just cut at 5 1/4 by 4 to give it that next layer down. Okay, so now then, I'm going to put this on and cut this. I want it in, because keep in mind, you've got your mechanism over there. So wherever you cut your hole, when your card is shut, you don't want this to be showing, okay? So like if you cut your hole here in the middle, that's going to be showing. So you need to have it over on this side somewhere. You could put it at the bottom, the middle, the top, wherever. But that's just one thing you need to keep in mind. So I'm going to put it here about a 1/2 inch from the side and from the top. And because I'm going to use these daisies, I want to make sure that they're not going over the edge. So I'm going to line it up right about there. Okay, and then I'm going to run this through the machine, and I have to open this back up because I don't want it to, actually I would love for it to cut through that layer right there too. And maybe, well, no, I think I'll wait because I'm going to have my white layer in there too. That might be pushing it to get it to cut through that many layers. Let me run this one through. And it went through that nicely. You can see there that it cut all the way through. So that cut through 2 pieces of cardstock plus the patterned paper. And I keep these little circles. I don't throw them away because you know you'll use them for something at some point. Okay. Hey Donna, hope you're feeling better today. Okay. So I kind of like to get all this hole cutting business out of the way first because that's the nerve-wracking part to me. So what I'm going to do is bring in my white layer. Let me figure out which one is the right one for inside here. So it's the smaller of the 2 layers. So this is 3 1/4 by 5 1/4, and then this one that's going to go in behind it on the back side of that is the one that's 5 1/4 by 3 3/4. So I'm just going to go ahead and attach this down. And if you want to make this card I will post this to my page here, and I will also post it to my YouTube channel, which is also JannaStamps, but it's on YouTube it's all one word. Here on Facebook it is 2 words. Because there's not, I wouldn't know how to go about writing instructions up to make this card. But I did list all of the measurements, so you can go back and screenshot that if you want, or stop the action and write them down. Okay, so now I want to, how am I going to do this? I will figure it out. So first of all, what I need to do is just lightly pencil where I want the die to go. And then I need to hold that in place there. Hopefully it's lined up pretty good, but I don't want it to cut through that back piece. So I think what I will do is just fold it to the front like that and run it through my machine, because that way it won't cut through that little flap. By Jove, I think we've got it. Okay. Yay. Okay. So I only have one more thing that I'm going to have to run through the die, and that's the daisies. So now you can see that flap. This will fold back around to the back, and you can see how that flap comes in there, and that's what we will glue our little bunny circle to. And that part's actually pretty easy. And if you keep, when you cut out that part, you can keep this and it will fit in there. Now I have it glued together, so I have another one that I've cut out already, but you could certainly use that piece that you just cut out. Okay. Oh, and then I have this piece that's going to cut out, and maybe I'll go ahead and do that. And the first time I didn't cut both of these out at once, but I'm going to go ahead and try it this time. I just have to get my tape lined up here, so I think I've got it. And let's give that a try. So that's going to make the little yellow frame there. Hi, Carol. I have the Tim Holtz Vagabond. I got it not too long ago, and I absolutely love it. Okay, so I'll keep that just because I will use it for something. And there's my little frame. Isn't that so cute? So that'll be going on top of the flowers right there. Okay, so now I went ahead and with the daisy punch, this one I'll be using the big one. And then I've got a smaller flower and I use that one. So I punched out my daisies, and I only need 2 of these for right now. And let me bring my glue back in. So I'm going to glue these together so that it's a full flower here. Just like that. Okay. So now then, what you need to do, now if you have some other sort of a flower, see, I don't remember, it's been so long ago that we made this card, years and years. I don't remember what that was, but you know, you could have some kind of a flower like that to use too, and you wouldn't have to go through what I'm going to go through to do this, what I'm going to show you here. But you have to put, okay, so keep in mind that I'm going to be cutting away the whole middle of this flower. I'm going to be cutting away all of that. So actually I could lay the die down there and draw a circle if I wanted, but I'm not going to go that far. But what I am going to have to do is I'm going to have to glue I'm going to have to glue the tips of each one of these petals. And while I'm letting that dry, because when I did it the first time, even though this was face down on the paper, I think because when you run it through your die machine, that's, you know, such a tight fit or whatever, the glue seemed to ooze out just a little bit, not too bad. But I think what I'll do is after I glue this down, I will set it aside and let that dry and color up my bunny real quick before I run it through the die machine to cut it out. So I need to put this on here. And let's see if it looks like it's in the middle. There we go. So just give that a press down. And then we will let that dry real quick while I color up the little bunny that's going to peekaboo out. And this is the Fable Friends set. I think this is just the sweetest stamp set. So, Carol, I debated on which electronic machine to get, and I've always, well, for one thing, it's so darn cute, this Vagabond, you know, because it looks like a suitcase. And so I loved that because I love vintagey looking things, but it works great. So I really don't need this whole bunny, so I don't need to ink up the whole thing. I just need to ink up part of it. Now then, oh, so cute. I got a really good deal. I thought it was a good deal, the price, because I researched different websites that offered it. And I ended up getting it on Amazon for that. It was the best price I could find. Okay. Now I'm just going to color this bunny up with some light crumb cake, my Stampin' Blends here. They're alcohol markers if you've never used them. Light Flirty Flamingo, and then I have brought in my color lifter just to do a little blending after I put the crumb cake on here. And I'm gonna put the pink right here inside of the ears. And just a little bit on the nose. And what else did I do with it? I know I gave the pink cheeks. I guess that was it, but I did the pink cheeks after. So I'm just going to color a little bit of outline, basically, right around the edges. And I'm going to stick that up a little bit with that fur sticking up there. And here, just where these little marks are. Oh, I think this bunny's so cute. And then I'm going to use the color lifter here, actually, just to blend that, blend it all together. There we go. And then I'll come back in here and give little bunny some cute pink cheeks. Right there and right here at the base of the whiskers. Adorable. Okay. Now, I think this has probably had time to dry. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put my die on this side so that I can line it up exactly where the hole is. And I'm going to run it back through my die machine. Okay. So maybe I need to run it through one more time because it looks like maybe it didn't quite get it. We've got several thicknesses we're running that through there. So let me just run it through once more. And it looks like we got it that time. There we go, pops right out. And then you just need to be careful with that. This is Post-it tape. You just need to be careful that you don't peel your paper. And I think that tape's about had it there. Okay. So now that's the piece that wraps around the back. There's our mechanism. And there you can see how the flower is glued down. And where's my frame? Here it is. So now I'm just going to put a very small bit of glue. My glue's getting to the bottom of the barrel here, I think. Oopsie. Okay. Go with that there. What did I do with my white to wipe my fingers off? They're gluing again. Here it is. Can't stand that. Okay. So the hard part is done. Woohoo! That is the hardest part of doing this. So now to get your little bunny on there, you're going to open the card up. And I think the easiest way, you could use glue or whatever, but I am going to use my mini glue dots. And oh, look what I got, you guys. I got a take your pick tool. So excited. And I love this little spatula end because it works really good to lift these glue dots up. And I'm just going to put them right onto there like that. And I'll put one there. And one right there. And I like that it has these little caps. And there's the one that has the sticky part there that you can use for embellishments. And then there are, let me get the other tips here, I'll show you. There's, oh, it comes with an extra sticky end that has like a sticky putty in there, and then it comes with a double-sided, this is like, what do you call these things? Stylus, I believe, is that what they're called? And you can, back in the day when we used to use metal stencils, we used these with a light box and a tool, and that's how we did the paper embossing with metal stencils. So it comes with that, and I think it's $10. And it's really handy and I like it. Okay, so much for that. Okay, so now we're just going to put the bunny in the circle right here and stick it down. So that part's really easy to get lined up. And then we'll just do that and that and that and that. So cute. Okay, we still need to put the other piece of white back here. Now let me make sure that I'm okay. So that is going to just go here. And then I'm going to bring this back around and get the bunny out of the way here because I need to stamp whatever I want to show. In this case here, Happy Spring, because then the bunny, okay. Now, I do want to point out, let me bring the old card back in. There's nothing sticking up on this one, okay? So there's, all right. But on mine, I put this daisy. So when I open it, do you see what happens here? It kind of goes under there and wants to poke those petals up. So that's something to keep in mind. It might be better to just lay your flowers down flat or position them somewhere else so that it's not going to catch up there. Okay. But let me bring in Happy Spring, which is right here. And I think I stamped that in Granny Apple Green. Is that the color I want to use on this one? I'm not sure because we've got a different color on the outside here. So I don't know that Granny Apple Green would be the best choice. Maybe I should just go with Bermuda Bay. I think that might look better. So let me just get that. Okay. Let me get the little bunny out of the way here. Happy Spring. Okay, and I just want to make sure I didn't catch any ink anywhere. There we go. So cute. Okay, have any of you seen this card before? Because I have not seen anybody make anything quite like this. And that's why I didn't even know what to call it. Okay, so let me bring my daisies back in. And I'm just going to glue these together. There's the big one. I always think there's a right side and a wrong side when you punch. Sometimes it's really hard to tell which is which. Not that it even really matters. Nobody will probably ever notice. Oh, I can just hear the birds chirping out there. They're so happy. Okay, now, oh, I don't want to put that up just yet. And I don't want to do that part yet either, I don't think. So let me just bring this in. I'm going to pop that up, but I want to see if there is somewhere better. Maybe if I position it more like this, when I open the card, it won't be so apt to catch. We'll try it. Okay, so I'm going to just put that on a dimensional. And then I need to put the other one on a smaller dimensional. I love that we have two sizes. Okay, I don't think that one's catching. So I think we're good. Now, what I'm gonna do is, first I've got Dark Daffodil Delight. And it matches the yellow there. And I'm going to just color the center here. And on this one, then I'm going to fill that with glue. And I'm going to glitter up the middles there. There we go. So then you can pop your top petals up to give it some dimension if you want, or leave them flat. And then I have the Gingham Gala, however you say it, sequins that are, they have the adhesive on the back. And I'm kind of thinking these little peachy color ones might be pretty on there. I'm going to use those. And they've got the little glue dots. Now on this one, I just used the clear or the iridescent. And I used the sequins, not the flower looking ones. Let me just play with it. Those would be cute too, and especially the little flowers, I think. This might be that's too much. Okay. I think I'm going to do the little flowers. I think these will be adorable. What did I do? Oh, you know what? I pulled off the glue is still on the sheet. I didn't catch the glue with it. There we go. Now it sticks. I think I'm just going to go with those. Just the 3 there. Cute. And let me just pop those up a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and pop these up a little bit and see if they catch when I open it. Oh, there's one thing I forgot. And it's important, so don't go away yet. Okay. So here it is. You want to run some glue or adhesive of some sort. I think glue, because it will hold the best. Right along there. Because that's going to keep that. You don't want to glue the whole thing shut because it won't work if you do that. Your mechanism won't work. And try not to get it over here. But just along here. It's going to hold it tight enough that it will keep that back flap from just flapping open. Okay? So you're going to kind of want to just press that in place. And since you've got the layer inside your card and the layer on that back flap where you just put your glue, you need to just kind of hold it in place there a little bit so that it gets good and stuck. And then that, here I'll show you on this one, that keeps your back flap. See what I mean? It allows for the mechanism for that whole side to still slide back and forth, but it doesn't flop open. Whereas this one, well, no, we did do that one. It's still a little bit floppier, but I think that's because there's not all the layers, so there's not the thickness on it like there is on this one. It just keeps it together better. And there goes that getting bent up. And I think because I put that one in further, it's not catching. So that will be what you'll want to keep in mind if you make this card, is to just put, if you put a flower or something like that on the front, keep it over there so it doesn't catch. Isn't that so cute? And once the glitter dries, it just all goes together with the cute yellow that you have around here. And then there's your little bunny, and you can put whatever you want to put as your sentiment there inside. And if you wanted to do more stamping around on here or something, you could do that as well. But I just think that is a fun and cute card. And I'm going to say the first one you make you might be saying some bad words at it, okay? So just have some patience and it will come together for you. You can stop and start the video and see what I did. I wish that there was a way for me to write instructions up, but I just don't know how to go about writing them up so anybody would be able to understand what I was saying. But there you have it. I am calling it a peekaboo slider card. I think that's what I called it, peekaboo slider. Yeah, but it turns out really fun, and I think whoever receives it will get a kick out of that. They just won't be expecting that when they open the card. So very fun. Hey, you guys have a good Easter. Make the best of it. Even though we can't get together with the people that we'd like to get together with, you can do it virtually maybe, or just, you know, have your own special little Easter day and enjoy it the best you can. And I will see you guys again next Friday. Have a great time. Happy stamping. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.